Daenerys Targaryen's descent into what many perceive as madness in Game of Thrones is a complex issue with no single definitive answer. Here's a breakdown of the key factors that likely contributed to her transformation. Targaryen legacy of madness. There's a well-known Targaryen saying, "Fire and blood," reflecting their ruthless tendencies in close bond with dragons. Several Targaryen rulers, including Daenerys' father, Aerys II, exhibited paranoia and cruelty. Daenerys herself wrestles with the fear of inheriting this madness throughout the series. Loss and betrayal. Daenerys experiences a series of devastating losses throughout her journey. Her brother Viserys is murdered, her loyal advisors like Jorah Mormont and Missandei are killed, and Jon Snow, the man she loves, is revealed to be a Targaryen with a stronger claim to the Iron Throne. These losses chip away at her emotional stability and sense of justice. Westeros resistance. Daenerys arrives in Westeros expecting to be welcomed as a liberator, but faces constant resistance from the established powers. She sees this as a rejection of her rightful claim and her vision for a better world. This fuels her frustration and feelings of isolation. Pressure to rule. The burden of ruling weighs heavily on Daenerys. She wants to be a just and merciful ruler, but the harsh realities of power force her to make difficult choices. These choices, like burning the slavers in Astapor, blur the lines between justice and brutality. Messianic complex. Daenerys develops a strong belief in her destiny to break the wheel of the oppressive cycle of Westerosi rule. This belief becomes all-consuming, leading her to view herself as the only one who can bring peace, even if it requires violence. Military might. Daenerys' dragons are a formidable force, and her reliance on them for victory can be seen as a crutch. They fuel a sense of invincibility and make her less inclined to consider alternative approaches. Tyrion's unsound advice. While Tyrion Lannister is a brilliant strategist, his counsel in the later seasons proves detrimental. His plan to take King's Landing without bloodshed backfires spectacularly, pushing Daenerys further towards violence. It's important to note that there are differing interpretations of Daenerys' actions. Some argue that her descent is rushed and unearned, while others see it as a tragic culmination of the pressures she faces. The show leaves room for viewers to decide whether she truly succumbs to madness or simply chooses a ruthless path to achieve her goals. Here are some additional points to consider. Daenerys' capacity for ruthlessness. Even before the events leading to her madness, Daenerys is not averse to violence. Her actions in Essos, like crucifying the Masters and Meereen, foreshadow her potential for brutality. The role of prophecy. Daenerys is influenced by prophecies suggesting her destiny as a conqueror. These prophecies fuel her ambition but also create a dangerous sense of entitlement. Ultimately, Daenerys' transformation is a result of a complex interplay between her Targaryen heritage, personal losses, political pressures, and her own choices. Whether you view her as a victim of circumstance or a ruler corrupted by power, her story remains one of the most compelling and debated aspects of Game of Thrones.